One of the guys that I snowboard with does triathlon. He was like, "Oh, you should do a triathlon. You should do a triathlon." I told him not to be so ridiculous. And then like 6 months later, I'd bought a membership to a tri club, and that was it. He made it sound like really exciting and really fun, and I have to stop saying like I can't and being like negative about things that I find really difficult, and instead say things like I can do that. I just haven't figured out how yet.
Welcome to Grit and Passion. My name is Leszek Stelmachowski. I am an Ironman coach and an active triathlete, and my mission is to assist you in becoming the best version of yourself. And now, let's bring our today's guest.
My name is Kira Webb.
And how old are you?
I'm 35, halfway to 70.
Like me, 35 is scary, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But it's better 35 years now in front of us.
If we're lucky.
That's what that's what they're saying. What do you do for a living?
I work for the council and I'm developing a restorative justice project for criminal justice social work. So it's like a research service development post, really good. Enjoy it.
You're enjoying it?
Yeah.
Awesome. And now into the races. How many races have you done so far?
Not many. I think probably about maybe like 7 or 8 over the past 4 years. But bear in mind, I was injured for a year and I couldn't swim for a year.
What's
So,
happened?
I managed to pull 2 tendons doing a curtsy lunge at TRX, and it took over a year to heal. And in the process, I discovered I had a bit of a dodgy right glute as well. So that all in all, took me a full year to get out of that.
But it's all sorted now.
Yeah,
Good,
definitely.
good for you. What's your weakest discipline?
Swimming.
Swimming.
Well, I say swimming. It's probably cycling actually. I could cycle more.
So what do you do to get better? I know you can cycle
Well,
more, but
I just need to cycle more. I'm quite lazy. I don't like going out when it's wet. I don't like cycling in the wind. I don't like cycling up hills.
what about turbo?
I got really bored. I had one and I gave it away because I never used it. So I just need to. Yeah, I need to cycle more. But everybody can ride a bike. It's just the way you do it, isn't it? I'm just lazy when it comes to the bike. I'm quite picky and
do you
lazy.
stay in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
So you've got Arthur's Seat. You can.
I know I've got Arthur's Seat.
It's so good.
I know it is.
It's
It doesn't make me want to go around
hour,
it.
three loops, and you are sorted.
I know.
Better
I
than
know what
turbo.
I need to do. But yeah.
Right. So, do you remember your very first race?
Yeah.
4 years ago. Yeah.
Easily, yeah. It was the Relay Wild triathlon in Perth. So it's a 4-person team. So it was 2 males, 2 females, and I was trying to remember earlier. I did it with Laura and Mike and somebody else, and I can't remember. It was 4 years ago, and everybody does a short bit. So you do like a 200-meter swim, 6K on the bike, and a 1.5K run. And I'd never done any triathlon before. I didn't understand transition. Everybody's taught me transition. I'm like, I don't know what that is. My goggles broke. Somehow a contact lens got stuck to the inside of the goggle lens and dried out and cracked the lens. And I only realised when I was poolside. I also panicked because I decided that I couldn't swim again. So I did like 200 meters of breaststroke. And somehow I found my way onto a bike, and I was like, thank God I actually made it onto the bike. That was good. Like I didn't drown. And then I did the run at the end. And the only reason I even did that race is because they were stuck for another woman to make up the team. And I remember sending Laura or Mike an email saying, if you're really, really desperate for a woman, I'll do it, but like I am your last resort. And they were that desperate that they needed me. So, but actually I learned heaps and heaps and heaps. I learned so much that day, and there's stuff that I learned that day that I still take with me, and every race I've went to, I just remember that first one. And even though it was like a bit of a shambles for me, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
So, but why you started? What was there that you thought I'm gonna start doing triathlon?
Yeah. I used to do a lot of running, and I'm sort of prone to accidental injury. I tripped on a discarded water bottle at the Great North Run at about mile 9 and kind of like hobbled the last 4, and it was a different tendon that I buckled that day, and I'd sort of got back into running through Jog Scotland, and then one of the guys that I snowboard with does triathlon. He was like, "Oh, you should do a triathlon. You should do a triathlon." I told him not to be so ridiculous. And then like 6 months later, I'd bought a membership to a tri club, and that was it. He made it sound like really exciting and really fun, and you know, it just sounded really enjoyable. And I have this bit of a problem with feeling like I'm last at things. And in a triathlon, even though you might be last, you don't know that you're last because there's like loads of other people out in the course. So that makes me feel better about it. So
that's a good point, actually.
Yeah,
I never thought this way.
Yeah. So you don't feel like you're holding anybody up because there's always people out in the course. So yeah.
Nice. And do you remember your hardest race? Was it the first one?
No, it was Hoik last year. Hoik sprint down in the Borders. And just wasn't feeling it. Hated the swim, hated the cycle, and I particularly hated the run. And I have some friends that live down there, and I just saw them at the finish line, and I was never so glad to see people that I knew ever, because I just needed somebody to tell me that everything was going to be okay. I absolutely hated every minute of it, and actually I wouldn't do it again still because I hated it. And you know, all in all, it's like the Border series is great. You know, there's a really great series of triathlons down there. It was just that day was just awful.
And do you know why? Have you ever got to the bottom of why?
No.
Or it was just the day?
It was just that day. I just thought, nah, not feeling it. Don't want to do it anymore.
Did you learn anything from this?
Yeah, I learned there's absolutely no point in beating yourself up about having a crappy day. Because that's what I did. Like, and I spent the whole time saying, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. And then I learned 2 things last year. One was I have to stop saying, like, I can't, and being, like, negative about things that I find really difficult. And instead say things like, I can do that, I just haven't figured out how yet. So try to be a bit more positive. And then the other one was, it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you go as long as you go. So the next time I have a really awful day like that, I'm just going to be like, Kira, just get through it. It'll be fine. You get to the end.
I'm always saying to everyone to say, I cannot do it yet. It's so powerful.
It is.
The moment you say, I cannot, yes, you cannot do it.
Yeah.
But if you push your mind to it and you're doing this, you will get there eventually. But you just matter of couple of days or weeks or months. But
yeah, I had to stop racing other people and just concentrate on myself. You know,
it's probably you can always race someone, and there will be always someone better than you.
Yeah,
which is not, if you want to race all your life, it's not the way to do it. Okay, so your motivation for training.
I think I'm in a routine now. I'm a creature of habit, and I think but
it cannot be motivation.
I think it is. It makes me feel good. I have to say I really enjoy training with this club. I've met some really good people, made some really good friends, and that's a big motivator because you know you're going to see these people, you know, a couple of times during the week or whatever. I feel fitter. I feel fitter now than I have in my whole life, I think, and that's had like an impact on other bits of my life. So I've got arthritis, and actually this is the best my arthritis has been in about 15 years, and I put it down to just being like strong and healthy. And people notice that in me. It makes me feel good about myself. So I mean, I think that's okay. The biggest part of it. Just feeling good a lot of the time.
And would you have any advice for people who would like to start? Because this is what the podcast is about. It's getting people into the sport. And
yeah, I think just come along to a few club sessions. I mean, you can come to club sessions here with ET for free to try them out to see if you like them. Come along, introduce yourself, meet a few people, come down the pub one night, meet some more people. Like, I think the little bit of a social side of it's really important as well. And then enjoy it, you know. And if you don't like it, don't do it. Oh. But if you do like it,
you will stay.
Do more.
Stay.
Yeah.
So, Kira, what's next for you? What do you know any other race now? Do you know your race? Next race?
I do. Yeah. I've entered Grafman. It's a 70.3 in Cambridgeshire. So I did enter the Edinburgh Ironman this year. I said I wasn't going to talk about this.
I didn't ask.
And it wasn't my day. But training is never wasted, is it? So I just came away and I gave Liz Richardson a shout and said, recommend me some races with a lake, not a sea. And Grafman was one of the ones she'd recommended. And because it's in Cambridgeshire, it's flat. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And actually, my little brother entered it as well.
Superb.
Yeah. He's never done any triathlon before, so he's having some swimming lessons.
When it is June?
It's in May next year.
In May?
Yeah.
Ooh,
so it's like kind of a nice time of year. Won't have got bored of training by May. So, but the way I'm seeing it is that I spent, kind of 6 months this year working up to that distance,
Mhm.
and I'm just not letting that go. Like, that distance is in me now, and I can only build on that.
Oh yeah,
So
you are ready.
that's my plan.
Yeah. And then now you've got 6 months again.
Yeah,
So
and I don't have to swim at bloody Cockenzie, so.
I like it. To be honest, I
It was like
it.
a washing machine. I hated it.
It was. But that's why it was so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, for me, I just wasn't strong enough. I just got beaten by the sea. But I think, again, sort of reflecting on it, I'm glad that I chose to finish when I did rather than getting pulled out of the water.
Mhm.
Because if I got pulled out of the water against my will, I would have just been heartbroken. Whereas I sort of did like my assessment in my head and just thought, this is not your day, Kira. And actually I was fine about it. People were kind of like, oh, you must be so disappointed. And actually I wasn't. And you had made the right decision for me on that day.
Mhm.
And like I said, training's never wasted. So
Very well.
yeah,
Very well.
excellent.
Thank you very much.
You're
This
very
was a
welcome.
pleasure.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Get in touch. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on my website www.gritandpassion.com. See you on the other side.